Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jesse, and this is the PlantStock channel. On this channel, we will mainly focus on plant-based companies that have IPO'd or will in the future. Now, what is the purpose of this brand new channel? Simply put, I've felt for quite some time that there's been a vacuum in the investment space on YouTube regarding plant-based stocks. There are a couple of individuals that have every now and then covered some plant-based companies, and normally they do a good job. Nonetheless, none of them focus solely on plant stocks, and I do believe there is some value on just focusing on certain segments of the industry. In my opinion, you get a better overall understanding of the industry if you focus on fewer stocks. You just can't cover everything. You'll end up diluting your knowledge. I truly understand why most YouTubers focus on several segments. I mean, the whole part of YouTube usually is to grow your channel. And this is, after all, a small niche. But instead of waiting for people to cover this sector more, I've decided to take matters into my own hands. So here we go. Yes, we'll be focusing on companies such as Beyond Meat, which I think we are all well aware of. Also, we're going to focus on the newly merged company Tattooed Chef, which I've been following now for a couple of months. Very interesting indeed. We'll also be looking at the newly IPO'd company, The Very Good Food Company, a small Canadian company that shows massive potential. And when talking about Canadian companies, we have PlantX, a company that is still in its infancy, but it's about to challenge Amazon on everything plant-based. And with time, we'll also be looking into a few others. Where's the story behind the stock? Understanding the CEO. What are the potentials for the future? These are some of the things that we'll be looking at. But we'll also talk about some investment strategies and philosophies. My hope is to help you make better investments for the future. Now, why is this an interesting market? Well, there are plenty of YouTube channels out there that are covering the EV space. They're focusing on companies like Tesla, Workhorse, and NIO, with others obviously. This is a disruptive market. The overall claim from these companies is that they are disrupting the fossil fuel companies, the very industry sector that tend to destroy our planet. That is an admirable goal, no doubt. I'm invested in their journey because I truly believe that one of the biggest catalysts for change on this planet is to put your money where your mouth is. No pun intended. Well, maybe a little. But please tell me, haven't we forgotten about another sector that may have a more profound impact on this planet regarding sustainability? The by far biggest contributor to the sustainability of the planet is what we put in our mouths. In other words, the way we produce food today, animal agriculture is in fact what is destroying the planet. A more prompt word would actually be a planet killer. No, hear me out. I'm but a simple historian and a teacher. Nonetheless, you might be inclined to take the word of organizations such as the UN and their top researchers, and the World Watch with others. They have been stating the obvious for years now, yet it has fallen on deaf ears so far. Likewise, I do believe that many of us are starting to realize that this plant-based movement, be it vegans, vegetarians, flexitarians, or whatever you should call them, is here to stay. A lot of people have believed for many years that this movement is only temporarily, that it's not here to stay. Well, if we take a look at this trend chart here, I think you can see that actually it's growing more than ever. So in other words, there's no denying the truth. This movement is here to stay, guys. Wherever you might live, take a good look at the stores. Take a look at the restaurants. What do you see, guys? I've been following this trend for almost 20 years now, and I must say there's a huge difference of alternatives for both vegans and vegetarians out there. I remember a time when you had to go visit your local Asian store just to get a package of tofu. Visiting your local stores, your supermarkets, it was nearly impossible to get any alternatives. As time went by, a few stores in the metropolitan areas started to bring in some vegetarian fake meats, if you were really lucky. Ever so slowly, more and more of these products started to show up on our shelves, even our frozen sections. And looking today in our stores, there's a huge difference, wouldn't you say? Sure, there's still some smaller stores out there that haven't really gotten with the program yet. But where I live, it's a small village. It's 2,000-3,000 people at the max. We have 2 small stores, and they have a wide selection, actually. That's impressive. We're going to see huge political willpower to change legislation, moving us away from meat and dairy, in my honest opinion. Why, you ask? Well, it's quite simple. In the end, I believe that more and more people are going to realize how animal protein affects the planet and their own overall health. And this is something that's going to facilitate the movement more and more. When they call out, when they cry out for plant-based protein is becoming more clear, the industry, the money makers will take heed. Mark my words. If there's something capitalists are known for, is their ability to sense a change emerging, especially when it's related to profits. I remember years ago in an interview with Bill Gates, he remarked quite heavily that in 5 to 10 years, if you want to become rich, you need to start investing in plant-based companies. Now, coincidentally, he was one of the first investors into Beyond Meat. In my opinion, now and the years to come is that time period that Bill Gates talked about. When venture capitalists realize that people want to change, they will not only invest their capital into these companies, they will influence politicians of the world. And with the horrible atrocities with Rona spreading across the globe, it is once again giving us a stern reminder that animal husbandry is the biggest culprit in regards to pandemics. If anything, this whole Rona situation has facilitated the transition to eating more plant-based. It's not about that everyone will turn vegan all of a sudden, especially not overnight. But a lot of meat-loving people out there do see the value with cutting back on meat and dairy products, mainly for health and sustainability reasons. That in itself will contribute to a large impact. We need to start somewhere. Since both Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods are putting a lot of R&D and capital on the fact that they want to make their products more inexpensive than the actual thing, the transition will move that much quicker, in my opinion. Now, this is a move you don't want to miss, especially if you want to grow your wealth. Before you know it, the transition, the evolution of sustainable, healthier alternatives that are cheaper than the real thing will come knocking on our doors. And we better be prepared to open it and let the profits come pouring in. Something that all of us will prosper from in so many different ways. So guys, what do you personally believe affects the planet the most? The transport sector or what you put in your mouth? And guys, it really shouldn't be down to what we believe in. It should be about what the research states. For in the end, whether we really care about our own health or the animals, if we don't have a planet that can sustain us, it really doesn't matter. Yes, basically, everyone drives cars, but I do believe that everyone also eats, like 3 to 5 times a day. Well, most of us. Ask yourself, what could you do without? Now, before reaching the conclusion, I just want to state that I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a historian, I'm a teacher. These are just my ideas and thoughts, my philosophies. And if you want to follow some of my advice now or in the future, that will be up to you, of course. Now, I want to make it clear. On this channel, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, meat eater, flexitarian, whatever your choice may be, everyone is welcome. I truly believe we have a lot more that unifies us than divides us, especially when traveling on this journey to make this planet more sustainable. Not only for ourselves, but for our children, the future generations, and for the planet itself. Now, I hope you join me on this journey and endeavor. So, is it possible to make a profit and make a change for good? Of course there is. Some of my investment philosophies are that you need to understand the company that you invest into, right? You have to believe in it. And it's also positive if it's something that makes you feel good, that you feel that it's gonna make a change for the better. Not only for you, but for the whole planet, right? For other generations. Be part of this disruptive force that will end up saving the planet and benefit all of us. I know that this is a niche channel and it might take time to grow it, but with your help, that need not be the case. So if you want to be part of this journey and you found some value in this introduction, please hit the subscribe button and be part of the family. And if you also want to be part of spreading this message, I would surely appreciate it if you smash that like button. And if it feels better, you could cuddle it too. That would be great. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Peace out.